Soy Rodrigo Lazo Campo y me place ayudarles en este proceso que les está equipando con las habilidades para comunicarse efectivamente en la lengua inglesa. Esta es la lección número 4, Lesson 4. Lesson 4 del nivel 1, curso debutante, y el título de la lección es The City. The City. The City. The City. Para empezar, quiero ayudarle a comprender el concepto de city. The city. Y para ello le quiero contar que Bogotá is the capital city of Colombia. Déjeme escribirlo. Bogotá is the capital city of Colombia. But in Colombia, there are other important cities. Other important cities in Colombia. Other important cities in Colombia are Medellín, Cali, Barranquilla, Bucaramanga, and Cúcuta. These are important cities in Colombia. Bogota is the capital, and the other important cities are Medellín, Cali, Barranquilla, Bucaramanga, and Cúcuta. Pero en el resto del mundo también hay muchas important cities. De este lado voy a escribir nombres de algunos de los important cities in the world. Important cities in the world are Paris, Berlin, Moscow, Washington, D.C., New York, Tokyo, New Delhi, Sydney, Kampala, and Nairobi. These are examples of other important cities in the world. A lo largo de la lección vamos a hablar de lo que hay in the city empleando las expresiones there is o there are. De lo que se ve in the city empleando I see, y de lo que se oye in the city I hear. Esas son expresiones básicas que estaremos empleando. Empecemos. The streets. The streets. Here are the streets. The streets in the city. The streets in the city. Here are the streets in the city. En las lecciones anteriores he presentado los objetos, los temas, diciendo this is or these are. Voy a cambiar esas dos expresiones por otras expresiones nuevas. Una de ellas es here are, que es equivalente a these are. Here are the streets in the city. Here are the streets in the city. Here are the streets in the city. Que sería lo mismo que decir these are the streets in the city. There are many streets in the city. There are many streets in the city. I see many streets in the city. Voy a escribirlo. There are many. Refiere a una cantidad abundante. There are many streets in the city. There are many streets in the city. Or, I see many streets in the city. Many streets in the city. I see many streets in the city. There are many streets in the city. Cars. Look, here are many cars. Many cars in the city. The cars. The cars. Here are the cars in the city. Here are the cars in the city. The cars are going on the streets. They are running on the streets. On the streets, you can see many cars around the city. Around the city. So, I can say that there are many cars in the city. There are many cars in the city. I see many cars in the city. I see many cars in the city. Esa palabra I se refiere a la persona que está hablando. En este caso, esa persona que está hablando es Rodrigo Lazo y está hablando acerca de Rodrigo Lazo. En inglés uso la palabra I. I see. I see many cars in the city. See es la acción, es una acción que ocurre a través de sus ojos. I see many cars in the city. You see many cars in the city. You, estoy hablando de esa persona que me está escuchando. You see many cars in the city. Paso a la siguiente página. Buses. One bus, two buses, three buses, four buses, many buses in the city. Many buses in the city. Here are some buses in the city. Here are the buses in the city. There are many buses in the city. I see many buses in the city. Let me write this. Here are the buses in the city. Here are the buses in the city. There are many buses in the city. There are many buses in the city. I see many buses in the city. And you see many buses in the city too. Buses. El singular es bus. Versus plural buses. Buses. One bus, four buses. There are many buses in the city. I see many buses in the city. Here are 4 buses in the city. 1, 2, 3, 4. The stores. The stores. The stores. Here are 2 stores in the city. 1 store, 2 stores. There are many stores in the city. I see many stores in the city, and you see many stores in the city. Here are 2 stores in the city. 2 stores in the city. 1, 2. There are many stores in the city. There are many stores in the city. You see many stores in the city. There are many stores in the city. You see many stores in the city. Let's turn the page. The park. The park. Here is a park in the city. This is a park in the city. There are many parks in the city. I see many parks in the city. Here is a park in the city. Here is a park in the city. This is a park in the city. There are many parks in the city. I see many parks in the city. And you see many parks in the city. Buildings. Buildings. The big buildings. Big buildings. The big buildings. Here are some big buildings. Here are some big buildings. There are many big buildings in the city. I see many big buildings in the city. These are some big buildings in the city. Here are some big buildings in the city. Some. Esta palabra some se refiere a una cantidad que siempre es plural, pero es indeterminada. Some. No estoy diciendo exactamente cuántos. Some. There are many buildings in the city. Here are some big buildings in the city. I see many big buildings in the city. You see many big buildings in the city. There are many big buildings in the city. I see many big buildings in the city. There are many big buildings in the city. Oh, here is a mistake. No, it is fine. There are many big buildings in the city. I see many big buildings in the city. Let me turn to the next page. The people. Look, here are some people. 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 The people. Here are the people. These are the people in the city. People in the city. Here are some people in the city. Here are some people in the city. There are many people in the city. I see many people in the city. There are many people in the city. I see many people in the city. You see many people in the city. People. The people. The people in the city. The noise. The noise. The noise. Aquí ya no uso I see, porque usted no usa sus ojos para percibir el noise. Usted usa sus oídos. Por lo tanto, ya se dice Here is the noise in the city. Here is the noise in the city. The noise. Y hay mucho noise in the city. En algunas más que en otras. Noise. Esta máquina produce mucho noise. Noise. El tráfico en algunas ciudades produce mucho noise. Noise. Here is the noise in the city. There is a lot of noise in the city. There is a lot of noise in the city. There is a lot of noise in the city. Ya no uso there are. There are es para plural. Se pudo ver people es plural. Buses, buildings, parks, etc. Son palabras en plural. Pero noise es singular. Por eso uso there is. Y no puedo usar many con there is. Esto indica una cantidad abundante, pero para singular. There is a lot of noise in the city. There is a lot of noise in the city. I hear, aquí, con mis oídos, a lot of noise in the city. I hear. You cannot see the noise. Usted no puede see el noise. Usted hear the noise with your ears. Right? The noise. Here is the noise in the city. There is a lot of noise in the city. I hear a lot of noise in the city. Okay? Pasemos a las actividades. Esta lección tiene dos actividades. And this is activity 1. Activity 1. Hay un espacio para su name. What is your name? En este caso yo escribo el mío. My name is Rodrigo Lazo Campo. What is your name? Voy a escribir esa pregunta acá. What is your name? Y usted respóndala, por favor. Yo dije, my name is Rodrigo Lazo Campo. Le repito la pregunta. What is your name? Luego, escribo the main idea. Main idea es el tema de la lección. The city. The city. Y la actividad consiste en hacer un bosquejo de the city con base en los detalles que hemos referido a lo largo de la lección. Yo voy a mostrarles mi bosquejo y ustedes hagan el suyo. Here is the picture of a city. This is a city. A city. A city. Y ahora hablaremos entonces de lo que you see in the city, you hear in the city, and there is or there are in the city. Ahora vamos a referirnos a los detalles de lo que I see or I hear, o en lugar de este, you see or you hear. Uso I cuando esta persona, Rodrigo Lazo, habla acerca de Rodrigo Lazo. Cuando usted habla acerca de usted mismo. O cuando yo hablo acerca de esa persona que me está escuchando. I see or I hear. You see or you hear. Y los enunciados los vamos a consolidar en uno solo. Así. In the city, eso puede ir al comienzo. I hear a lot of noise and see many streets, cars, buses, stores, que es el sitio donde se compra cosas, parks, big buildings, and people. Repitámoslos. In the city, I hear a lot of noise and see many streets, cars, buses, stores, parks, big buildings, and people. O puedo decir, in the city, you hear a lot of noise and see many streets, cars, buses, stores, parks, big buildings, and people. Y del otro lado, entonces vamos a referirnos a lo que there is or there are. In the city, there is a lot of noise and there are many streets, cars, buses, stores, parks, big buildings, and people. Digámoslo otra vez. In the city, there is a lot of noise, and there are many streets, cars, buses, stores, parks, big buildings, and people. Pasemos ahora a la siguiente actividad. This is activity 2. Activity 2. Vemos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pictures. We see 9 pictures. Vamos a identificar los nombres de cada uno de los objetos en estos pictures. Y vamos a clasificar esos nombres en dos grupos. El grupo de nombres que empiezan con la letra P, que es esta, P. y el grupo de los nombres que no empiezan con la letra P. Voy a decir los nombres primeramente y usted irá identificando aquellos que empiezan con P y que no empiezan con P. Para aquellos cuyos nombres empiezan con P, voy a escribir la letra P en este espacio que hay en el centro. Y escribiré la letra capital P, esta se llama capital P, o también se llama uppercase P, capital P or uppercase P, uppercase. Y voy a escribir también la letra little p, esta es little p, o lowercase p. En estos espacios escribiré capital P or uppercase P y también little p and lowercase p para aquellos objetos cuyos nombres empiezan con la letra P. P. This is letter P. Letter P. Now listen carefully. Bunny. Y repita después de mí. Bunny. Frog. Frog. Pig. Pig. Usted ya está identificando dónde debe escribir capital P y lowercase p. Pail. Pail. Nest. Me refiero al recipiente y no a lo contenido. Nest. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Pear. Pear. Pie. Pie. Dog. Dog. Ahora voy a proceder a escribir las letras capital P and little p debajo de los dibujos cuyos nombres empiezan con la letra P. Bunny. Bunny doesn't begin in P. Frog. Pig. Pig. I write capital P. I write the capital P and the little p. Pail. Pail. Pail begins in P. So I write capital P and little p. Nest. Nest doesn't begin in P. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Pumpkin begins in P. So I write the capital P and the little p. Pear. Pear. Pear begins in P. So I write the capital P and the little p. Pie. Pie. Pie begins in P. I write the capital P and the little p. Dog. 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 Dog does not begin in P. Ahora voy a escribir las palabras para todos los objetos, sea que empiecen en letter P o no empiecen con la letter P. Bunny. Bunny. Frog. Pig. Este ya es conocido para usted. Pail. Nest. Pumpkin. Pear. Pie. Dog. También le es conocido ya. Vamos a decir los nombres otra vez. Bunny. This is a bunny. Estoy presentándoselos. Y usted preséntelos también. Frog. This is a frog. Pig. Here is a pig. Pail. Here is a pail. Nest. Nest. Here is a nest. Pumpkin. This is a pumpkin. Pear. Here is a pear. Pie. This is a pie. Dog. This is a dog. Ahora, para terminar, voy a escribir dos enunciados. Uno que corresponda a las palabras, a decir que esas palabras comienzan en la letra P, y el otro expresando que no comienzan con la letra P. Así. Pig, pail, pumpkin, pear, and pie. Begin, o puede decir también start in the letter P, capital P and little p. Y el segundo enunciado, bunny, frog, nest, and dog. Do not, la negación, begin or start in the letter P. Repitámoslo. Pig, pail, pumpkin, pear, and pie begin or start in the letter P. Bunny, frog, nest, and dog do not begin or start in the letter P. Well, dear students, I think this is all for now. It was nice to talk to you, and I hope to be with you next time. Goodbye.